Good for us. Empire, how are you? Thank you for the bits. I need to thank Ubisoft for this opportunity, allowing us to create some content here for the Season 8 reveal. So we're super excited. Rain in London is not good. Sorry. That's unfortunate. Oh. I don't know. I haven't seen the reveal. I need to find out. Can't wait. Kirov, hello.
It is going to look like, because Ubisoft told me that I'm only allowed to show you if you get loud enough, so I'm going to ask you again. Does anybody want to know what it's going to look like?
I need to know.
Okay, good stuff.
I need to know.
Year 8, Season 1. This is how it all is looking like it's
What's
going
in
to
the
go
new
down,
season?
because it is Operation Commanding Force. The time is now. The crowd want it. You want it watching at home. It's time now.
Right
for the big
now.
reveal.
You better just put on my channel, though. Get your drop that way. Be a good man.
I haven't linked my Twitch stuff to...
What? So you don't get any of the drops? Oh, there's the new drone, the new operator. I can't wait.
Yeah, I have no idea how to, figure it out later. Oh, I didn't mean to close Siege. Whoops.
Wow. Oh my god, the countdown is too long. Too excited. They should have given us a 10.
Yeah, they really could just give us the 10, 9, 8. Bro, watching OXG fucking punt it last night hurt so much. They punted it. They punted it. Like, watching Clubhouse, they had that. And they threw.
I don't think anybody, nobody's stopping G2 and W7M this year.
Shut up.
I know you don't want to hear that, but...
OXG, baby.
Hello and welcome to Operation Commanding Force. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, and there is no better way to kick off the first season of Year 8 of Rainbow Six Siege than to be here with all of you. Whether you're here watching the best teams in the world compete in the Six Invitational, or at home excited to learn what's next, this is the place to be. In Operation Commanding Force, all eyes are on Viper Strike, the squad led by Hubana, who will be welcoming a new operator this season. To tell us more, please welcome Creative Director Alexander Karpazis.
Vision.
Year 8, Season 1 Commanding Force starts off with us seeing Brava, our saboteur from Brazil. She'll be joining Viper Strike, led by Hibana, and is made up of the experts who have every tool at their disposal to get the job done. They're essentially the elite Swiss Army knives who can jump into any operation and execute at the highest possible level. This squad is also being joined by Red Hammer, which was introduced earlier, being led by Thermite. This is the squad of force and destruction, and with Viper Strike and Red Hammer joining the fold, we've introduced all of our squads that are making up Rainbow Six today. On top of this, we have a lot of exciting stuff to share. We've got balancing changes that reinforce the tacticality of our game and the gameplay that you can expect. We are constantly reinforcing the game with anti-cheat, and you'll see even more player protection coming down the line. And finally, newcomer rewards means newcomers jumping into Siege for the first time experience the vocabulary of the game and get rewarded for it. And veterans of the game as well.
More training is coming then.
All of this and more, our team's been working very hard, and they're excited to share with you everything that they've been working on today.
Okay.
The Viper Strike faction is stepping onto the stage
what?
with Brava, a new Brazilian attacker who pilots
was on the Echo
Clutch
drone.
A dastardly device capable of hacking defender
no
electronics
links were sent
and
to me.
either destroying them from a distance or changing their allegiance
Oh my
entirely.
gosh.
Imagine a defender triggering a Capkin trap, or getting slowed by Malusi's Banshee device. Imagine an attacker causing chaos with an on-site Maestro turret in a post-plant situation. This is the world that Brava is bringing
It's gonna
to
be
you,
so cool.
and it's
like
coming
being
soon.
able to flip like a Malusi trap is gonna be incredibly powerful.
Defenders will need to be on the lookout this season as Brava and her gadget seek to give them a taste of their own medicine. We're going to dive into the design of Brava with concept artist Sunshine Kim, then get the details of what makes Brava's drone unique from director of gameplay design Jeremy Carval and game designer
But imagine being able to
Maxine
steal ADSs or a WAMI disc. Like, that's gonna be crazy.
Brava is a natural-born leader and an expert in advanced technologies. She really values her family, hometown, and her heritage. You can see that she always wears the capybara patch, which represents her hometown, around her strap, as if it's part of her. She's a strong leader with years of experiences, just like her cousin Capitao. But she's not an intimidating and strict leader, unlike her cousin Capitao. They're alike, but they're different in many ways. We wanted her outgoing and lively personality to be really reflected in her visual design. But instead of approaching usual traditional way with heavy gear setup and multiple layers, we simplified it. Having that minimalistic gear setup, but still looking professional and combat ready was the main challenge.
When we started to work on Brava's device, we were looking for technology that could disrupt electronics in a distance. So we dig into the fantasy of anti-drone rifles. These rifles are powerful weapons that can break the connection and the control of drones. We really like the feeling and the look of this, so we wanted to make our own version of it. Once we were happy with our version, we scaled it down, mounted it on a turret, and we put this turret on top of these four-wheel drones to create this little tank. When you are controlling the drone, you will see this dedicated interface with a ton of little elements that will be used as important feedbacks. We even put the cannon on the side to really give the feeling that you are inside the machine. And
on the bottom right of the screen, it shows it recharging.
Overlay that will show on different occasions when hack is
to
performed.
unlimited. So it's
Brava's
the same
gadget is the
like
Clutch
Twitch drone
It's a
principle
new
now.
observation tool that we are bringing to the attacking team. It's an observation tool that focuses on stealing and overeating defender gadgets. It's a drone, so similar to what we have with Twitch. You can move around, drive with it, and you can also shoot. When you shoot at an electronic device, you can steal them from the defender team. Our experienced players will be able to do a lot of crazy things with this. You can steal a Capkin trap.
All right, so if you're bad with the shots,
all of those defender gadgets that you can turn against them. So obviously there's a lot of possibilities, and it's sky's the limit. For newer players, well, it's a safe way to explore new maps, get to know interactions between some gadgets. It's an observation tool. You gather knowledge, you gather intel. It's always going to be good.
I like that. Like
Brava
taking a
brings
bulletproof
two
is a really great
primary,
idea.
weapons. We have the Para 308 and the Cam RS. We have the assault rifle. It's high damage, low rate of fire, but you know how it works.
Oh, how would
We
you
have
reverse
the
trigger a
MR as the other
nitro?
option.
I
If you
think
want
that's the deal,
line
right?
of
With
sight,
like the
more
K
destruction,
claw, the
this is the
bandit
one we
batteries,
want.
it just destroyed
For
them.
the secondary weapons, we have the Super Shorty and the USB-40.
She gets a
You know the
Super
deal.
Shorty?
We have a secondary shotgun for utility.
Oh my
we
God.
can create some rotation holes for the drones. You can slip by the defenses with this. Or you have the USB-40, which is a reliable pistol if you want to move fast, you want to catch up to your team, that's the one you want to use. For generic gadgets, we have the Claymores and the smoke grenade.
actually
The Claymore,
trigger it instead of
obviously, you're going
destroying
to
it
spend
would
a
be
lot of time
huge.
hunting down defender utilities.
Holly says they
But we
just
want
get
to make sure that you're
destroyed,
safe.
Everyone's
you
been
will
watching
be able to
more
use
leaked
Claymore for this one.
information.
Or we have the smoke grenade. The smoke grenade is the one that creates a lot of noise, that draws a lot of attention. This means that you can slip by a clutch drone and maybe steal something.
That's probably
but that's a
balance.
window of opportunity for you. We have a 3-speed and 1 armor attacker here. It's mostly so you use the speed to catch up to your team. You're going to spend a lot of time on your clutch drones, and
super shorty is a secondary.
Always relevant during the round. So we get.
Well, she's got she's got super shorties and a claymore, so no matter what,
that we
like
can see
you're safe from like a jump out while you're doing
track
this
all
stuff,
of the electronic devices,
which is huge.
And turns out that Brava can hunt and steal those. So you want IQ to scout ahead, and Brava to execute on them.
Oh,
and
that's
going to
be so much
really
coordination.
Like tag teams. And here we are proposing Brava and IQ.
Right.
Thatchers and the operator that have access to the generic EMP grenade can allow the clutch drone to move forward if there's a pest or a mute jammer in the doorway. And don't worry, if you disable a gadget and you try to convert it, it will still work. Some of our maps have these critical important walls to open. Ace and Termite might have issues because there's electricity or mute jammers on those walls.
The only thing I'm concerned
you can send the clutch drone to shoot those
is that
gadgets and
it's
remove
not
them,
necessarily
but there's also
like
creative ways of doing it.
wall
Steal
or
a maestro,
like
use the maestro to deny those devices.
Right.
That's the kind of thing
so
that you
it's
will
like
learn about Brava.
so high risk. Yes.
So this is a great way to counter Brava. Either you can spot Brava when she's running, well, she's vulnerable, and you can spot the clutch drone coming in to steal your gadgets. Muzzy is an interesting counter there. We have a two-way relationship. You can steal the pest and do all of the crazy things that you can think of. But the pest can also steal the clutch drone, and then from there you can steal claymores, steal air jabs, retake some drones. There's a lot of possibility here.
So like the IQ synergy is huge, but Mozzie being able to steal it is awesome.
The clutch drone is an observation tool. It navigates on the floor.
It's gonna just ensure that Mozzie comes back into the pick rate like
you place jammers, you passively deny the entry.
He never let he dropped a little bit with the Roni nerf stuff,
that she can't shoot them. The clutch drone can steal the jammers.
This is huge.
And then it's going to disable the standard gadgets.
Yeah.
Vigil's gadgets allows him to be close to drones, so obviously the clutch drone will not be able to see Vigil, which means that he can jump on your drone and destroy it.
Alright, and it's not bulletproof.
I think our experienced players will be able to make Brava shine the most when they repick into this operator. When you notice that there's Capcan, Melusi, Aruni, Maestro, all of those defenders that brings high value
stealing
gadgets,
claymores and air jabs
that's when
is going to be wild as a Mozzie player. Wow.
I don't know. I'm now wondering like how effective a Twitch combo could be here. Because like Twitch can remove a lot of stuff. This can hack the stuff.
Our next updates are focused on the team's ongoing efforts to ensure that Rainbow Six Siege is fair and balanced for all players. The use of mouse and keyboard on console is a disruptive problem, and this season we're putting a new solution in place to tackle this issue.
Oh god, yeah, team color gadget's going to be huge.
Jan Stalaka is here to share the details.
Oh, I can't wait to see what this means.
So on Siege, we have a problem where a lot of players are using these little widgets called input spoofing devices, and they allow you to play with a keyboard and mouse on console. Now, along with toxicity and cheating, this is one of the biggest complaints that we get from our community. And we heard you. We agree. It feels really unfair to play against other players when you have such a disadvantage. So this is a problem that all console
It's going to be really rough, and I'm going to be really angry the first time it happens to me.
And there hasn't really been a reliable solution for this yet. In fact, the devices they're using are specifically designed to be undetectable. We wanted to build our own system that would sniff out mouse and keyboard players on console so that we could build a better picture of exactly who is using these devices. And we called that system Mousetrap. We have been really quiet about it, but actually it's been running in the background in shadow mode for several seasons. We've been gathering data and analyzing the results.
Oh my
and now
God.
we have a much better picture. We know exactly which players are spoofing and when they were spoofing.
My heart's spoken for.
That at the highest ranks, spoofers become much more common, where they have the biggest advantage and the most to gain. It would have been really easy for us just to ban all those players, but we want to try something a little different. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and remove the advantage that they get from using one of these input
They're going to aim
devices.
assist.
Starting in Season 8, Year 1.2, when we detect you spoofing, we're going to start adding extra latency to your inputs.
Wow.
It's going to start out really unnoticeable, but it's going to ramp up over several matches, and it will definitely be noticeable.
So not aim assist.
Controller players will find that their
Aim
disadvantage
penalty.
against mouse and keyboard players will be much reduced. To remove the penalty, simply unplug your spoofing adapter and continue playing on controller. After a few matches, the latency will be reduced and you'll be back to normal. We've worked really closely with our accessibility group here at Ubisoft to make sure that we take the needs of disabled players into account.
That fixes the problem.
We have designed the feature so that disabled players who use adaptive technology to access the game should not be affected by
That's why it's
this.
a penalty, though.
However, if you're a disabled player and you feel like you've been unfairly penalized,
no, but
there will
that's
be a
still
QR code in the game that you can use to contact us.
You're just gonna,
Maybe we can use
I'm not
that feedback to
disputing
improve
that,
our
but
system. So additionally, we will be updating our code of conduct for all players to say that using external devices to gain an advantage is not permitted.
I'm not selling it out yet.
I want to mention that this is an experimental solution.
I'm curious how fast
Nobody
the
in the
detection
industry has
is
solved
now.
this problem yet.
So
we are trying something
right,
new,
so to your
but it's
point,
not the final iteration.
If
We
they,
intend to keep monitoring
the game goes to overtime,
update our detection system, and to continue.
and then somebody
to tune
slams in
penalties.
their Zim.
It's an evolving situation. We are committed
Does it detect
to
it? Like if
continuing
it detects
to
it
work on
instantly,
to improve
then
the
the system is
fairness of
perfect.
Siege. Mousetrap will be coming year 8, season 1.
Because it'll add the latency, taking away that advantage.
In the same vein,
which would be fantastic.
Operation Commanding Force is continuing to bolster our anti-toxicity measures. To tell us more,
I agree.
Right, if they've got it
Security
that
Director Emmanuel
to that
Marie.
quality of detection, then there should be no issue.
I'm very glad to announce that we will perform a new update toward the reputation penalty. This new update will be looking at everybody that is doing some disruption at the voice chat level.
Oh, let's
It is
go.
really important because we're seeing case of misconduct, hateful message. We want to reduce that. Players being detected by this new system will be muted by default to others. So the people that still want to hear them will be able to unmute them. The goal of this new initiative is to reduce the impact of the top offender on other players. We also want to reduce the case of misconduct
It
and
showed the
hateful
first penalty
message
is 30
that
matches.
you are facing. At the start, we will be only looking at the top offender, so a small population of players. They will be receiving a set of warnings, and when the penalty will be applied, it will last several matches. Later down the
30
road,
matches
of
is a
course, we will
lot.
continue to monitor this system, but also to expand it to everybody.
I don't know, man. Stop
In
saying slurs.
Siege, every
Yeah, right.
decision
Again, stop being a
counts.
trash person
Starting
in chat.
this season,
and
reloading will be more tactical than ever.
let's go.
Associate Game Director Joshua Mills reveals details about
Right.
the reload rework, and game designer
All right.
Robert Cole has some news
We're
about
losing
a
bullets.
balancing update for Zero.
Calling it. A Zero update too?
Uh-oh. Oh no. Twitch. Twitch.
The issue with the current
Why am I
reload
lagging?
system in Siege is that it doesn't reflect the reality that most players are perceiving, which is if someone's reloading, they are non-lethal, and I have opportunity to push that fight. In the live build of Siege right now, if you initiate a reload action, you can cancel it at any time. What that means is the magazine has been removed from the weapon, and somebody starts pushing you, and you cancel that animation, and the magazine pops back in the weapon, and as long as it had ammunition, your weapon is again lethal.
Here we go.
With Operation Commanding Force, you will no longer get the benefits of reload canceling. And what I mean by that is once the magazine has cleared the weapon,
It leaves one
it
bullet
will
in
not
the
magically
chamber.
pop back in the weapon if you cancel that animation. In fact, it'll drop and then you'll have no magazine in your weapon.
Oh my god.
But
yes.
if you had a little bit of ammunition left in your magazine, you'll still have one in the chamber. And at the end of the day, it only takes one. Ultimately,
Oh
the
my
objective
God.
here is consistency.
I wonder
with
how many
tactics
times they
and
did that to
strategy
get
of
that
Siege,
clip.
which means if you perform an action in Siege, it has consequences and is purposeful. When a player initiates a reload action, you're committed to it. The objectives here are to enhance our teamwork, so if I have to reload, my friend's going to cover me, and to make use of the loadout that players already have, which is to use their secondary weapon if needed. Ultimately, it realigns our players' expectations with the game reality. So players, when they know somebody's reloading, expect that they have an opportunity and an advantage in that situation. Right now, the game doesn't actually support that. This is one of those
Especially for the
updates that
high
is
fire
actually
rate
affecting our
guns,
core
where you're like,
mechanics of the
oh,
game.
he's down
It's an
to
important thing to be very
3
careful when we
bullets,
make those
like on the
changes,
Roni
but
or
we
something like
know
that,
this is the direction we
and you
wanna
hear
go
that
in to bring
reload
Siege to be
animation,
more tactical,
I
more
mean, you've got a
purposeful,
real
and more
chance to
strategic than
win
ever
that fight now.
Yeah.
Zero is not in a
It's
bad
also a
spot right
small
now,
bump to,
but it's
like,
true that his
SMGs in
gadget can be a
general that
tricky
have
one to
those
use,
really
as
fast
it's getting
reloads.
destroyed most of the times before being even used, mainly due to the sound it makes. We are changing the Argus camera so that it will no longer auto-deploy to the other side of the wall once being attached.
Wow.
Zero will now need to manually perform the perforation from inside the camera.
So
and
it makes it quiet.
Any teammates can swap either side of the camera, but not perform the perforation. With these changes, we want the Argus camera to be a much more powerful intel tool, as well as being much more collaborative and improve the options and survivability of the gadget. We believe that these
that
changes
probably
will
would have
make
helped
the
with the
gadget much
LNG
more
meta a
interesting
lot.
and bring a new layer of strategy to Zero.
No, well, they didn't change the sound, right? So like their
In year
example
7,
is
we did
shooting
a
it
big
against the
update to our
reinforced
attachments
wall.
and to our recoil system.
You won't
The goal
hear
here
it
was to
on the other
enhance
side
player
because it's a
choice,
solid wall.
Give you more options to play the way you want to and make the loadouts you want to use.
Okay.
So they
Looking
didn't
into
change the sound at all. They
break,
just
it's the
changed
same
that it
philosophy.
doesn't
We're just
instantly
bringing
go
those in
through
line
the
with some of
wall.
the changes we started in year 7. For
That's
the muzzle
cool.
brake, we're going from 45% up to 50%.
Oh.
For the compensator, we're making an adjustment from 15% to 35%. One great feature that was introduced in year 7 is the shooting range.
Everything's getting a
I highly
buff.
recommend you go
This is
into
cool.
there and test all this stuff out to find the perfect kit for yourself. As always, with any balancing change or any update we do, we will be listening and
It's going to be a
monitoring
little more
your
viable.
feedback and continuing to find ways to empower you, the player, to live out the fantasy of being that elite operator.
You're going to notice some cool changes around the
I think
play
the
section
only
of the
time
menu when
I
Operation
felt it was
Commanding
on the
Force
Scorpion.
is in full force. And senior UX designer Cecilia Pasquale is here to give you a sneak peek.
We are introducing 3 categories that will contain our existing and new playlists. The categories are competitive, quick play, and training. We are going to also introduce a dynamic button for each of those categories, and it's going to be right below the tile, and it's going to allow our players to directly access their last played playlists inside that category. For those playlists, for example, as Quick Match, that have different game modes to select to matchmake with, we are going to add a settings button right below the tile that allows our players to select the game modes directly from there instead of having to go through the global settings button. For the future, we aim to further improve the menu navigation, but also we can't wait to hear your feedback about our latest improvements.
It's pretty good.
This feature is directed to our PC players, and it's an access point in the homepage of the game that notifies when a test server is available. Upon clicking on the button, the game session will be closed.
That way nobody has an excuse when I say let's go play the test server.
For those players that still don't have the test server installed, they can access this button and directly download it while still playing the game. The main goal of this feature is to give players the ability to check the availability of the test server in the homepage of the game. By giving a faster access and more visibility of our test server, we hope that more players will be interested in downloading and test our new features.
Last season, we rolled out the revamped Battle Pass to give you more control and flexibility over the new gear you unlock.
Tell us how you're fixing it.
We're introducing a new spin on Bravo Packs aimed to give you even more choice when it comes to earning cosmetics. Business Strategy Director Mohammed Benhanada will break down just how this works.
So last year we introduced the Bravo Packs. This feature was actually really liked by our community. What we want to do this year is actually give you even more choice as to which reward you unlock from the Bravo Packs. So for the players that finish the 100 tiers of the Battle Pass, we're giving you what we call the Bravo Pack tickets. This will actually give you the opportunity to browse all of the rewards from the Bravo Packs and choose the one that you want to
I
unlock.
actually love this change.
We launched the new Battle Pass last season. We've had a lot of feedback from the community around the UI and the UX of the feature. So looking forward into the next seasons, we're going to be focusing on improving this experience on the UX
cross
and UI
progression
side.
on the
So
test
stay tuned
server
for
would
this.
be good. It's a shame we have to start over every
The best moments
time.
in Siege are when a plan comes together.
I love
But
that
for
ticket
this to happen,
idea once you
everyone
finish
on
the
the
Battle
team
Pass.
needs to be on the same page, which could be tough to do when you're first starting out. Don't worry, we got you.
Yeah, I don't.
Our new beginner
yeah, you shouldn't
challenges will
wait.
make it easier than ever to understand the strategies of Siege, and will even earn you some nice rewards too. Associate Game Director Christopher Budgeon is here to explain
So
it
if you
all.
finish the Battle Pass, you're gonna get a Bravo pack that has a ticket inside, and then you can.
Siege is a
pick
highly tactical
what you
game with
want
a lot of
from what's
different
available
strategies,
still.
depending on the operators, the maps, and
What's
the
up,
interactions
Ripley?
of the
What's
gadgets.
going on?
We want to support new players on their Siege journey by adding the tools that allows them to learn how to play Siege and how to perform at their best in PvP. In Operation Commanding Force, we're introducing the beginner challenges. Beginner challenges are a new progression tool which allows new players to progress and learn about the different facets of Siege. They can do this by every match that they play. They're actually progressing in these new challenges, which are created into groups that we like to call operator specialties. Operator specialties are a great way for our current players to teach their friends how to play Siege. For example, we can talk about Hibana as a breacher. And this is how we're going to group the beginner challenges. Every time a newcomer plays a match, they'll be progressing their beginner challenges. They'll be able to see which operator specialty they've been progressing, and as they do so, they'll unlock different rewards such as renown, boosters, or newcomer packs. Additionally, players can unlock operators of that specialty.
I wonder what's going to happen
if you're
with
playing as a breach operator and doing well, you're progressing those challenges to unlock another breach operator to play as. It will be a great motivator for new players to be able to progress towards a specific operator, all while learning what that operator does within the game. All operators within Siege will now have an operator specialty assigned to them. You'll be able to refer to that when playing with other players, such as, we already have a breacher, or can somebody bring an intel operator?
Next season.
This is a great way to introduce your friends to Siege, because now they'll be able to use the language of Siege to make the choices about which operator to play. All players will have access to beginner challenges. For new players, it will replace the Battle Pass tile on the home menu. Our current players will be able to find it in the play menu. By giving new players a progression tool that's been specifically designed for them, we're able to reward players with items they can use immediately. This is the first time.
So it sounds like this is not going to be just like automatically given
operator within Siege. Players will be informed how they're playing
existing
and be able
players.
to
So like we're still going to have to load in and earn this stuff anyway, which is interesting.
And finally, you could play Operation Commanding Force on the season test server next week.
Yeah, like
you could put your sabotage skills to the test with Brava and her gadget. Have fun exploring the new features and be sure to share your feedback on R6Fix. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, and this is Year 8. The fun is just getting started.
2 hours, that's probably not even enough. Right? Like, unless you had a booster on and the people you were playing with had a booster on, 2 hours wasn't going to cut that.
You need like 4 games just to unlock a Pathfinder, so that's probably 3 hours for one Pathfinder. That also assumes you win those games. Yeah. I like that change though.
Yeah. March 7th, test server.
Finka Elite, top left.
No. No. No, not Finka.
What do we think, Montreal? Are we excited for Operation Commanding Force?
Very cool. I don't know. I'm excited for some of that stuff. I think the operator is going to be the bigger change.
I still don't know how I feel about the op, but yeah.
Right, it's going to be really hard to tell. It was kind of the same way like when Flores came out, right? People were like, oh, what are we going to do with 4 of these drones? Like, they constantly have to be exposed.
Flores in 4 explosions, and I was straight up like, yep, he will find a place.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really cool. Conceptually, it's very, very cool. Stealing like a Val camera or a bulletproof camera or laser gates. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I have a few more questions with the operator. I think like the first one for me at least is,
what do you want the alibi elite to be?
Those drones, or is it just limited? Like, do we have 3 charges and 3 charges only? Second is kind of just like how genuinely effective is it going to be, or is it going to be a pocket strat kind of thing?
I think for a lot of people, it's going to be pocket strat. Right? That's like if you're 5 solo players, you're almost never going to see it. Right? But if you have 5 people together, you know. So
maybe we see a time where, you know, we're going to find it a comp level or something that will end up in a position where there's all this.
What do you want the elite to be though, Pauly?
Tons of stuff, and we're going to see, you know, IQ, Flores, a hard breacher, and the new person.
Well, so hear me out on this one, right? So like, let's say we go to smoke plant on border on that archive door.
Yeah.
And right before we go in and do that, the drone comes in and snatches both the ADS and the razor bloom.
fair point.
Right? So now when the Monty walks in, anything that gets thrown at him gets eaten up by the ADSs. A defender that swings it triggers the Razor Bloom.
Actually,
and now you're safe.
I have no idea if an ADS would eat a C4.
Well, sure, right. Well, it eats an ace charge, so it should absolutely eat a C4 on the counter. Right. And believe I'm going to go into the test server. No, they both do.
Do they really?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be pretty crazy.
As far as the test server goes.
Yes.
I like that they're trying to push it and make it more accessible.
But
I'm still not gonna do it until it becomes like a regular use thing. Like they always only use it like 2 weeks before they're trying to do some.
The undercover stuff would be really cool.
And it's pretty set in their head they're gonna do it anyway, and they just want community feedback first. It's rare that we see them actually just try like continuous new changes. I want personally, like I've always said in like the yearly kind of surveys, I want to see regular changes going. Like, oh, we would like to slightly up the damage on this gun. We'd like to slightly lower the recon on this. Just constantly give me those changes. I don't care if it's unbalanced. Let us try them. That's the point of a test server.
You're right. They should do more of that, but it doesn't take away from the value that the new test server at the start of a season or the midway point still has, right? Like, because March 7th, right? Like, that means we're 2 weeks out from...
Is it 2 weeks?
What?
Is it really only 2 weeks from March 7th?
Well, it might just be a week from that.
Yeah, probably.
So if that's the case, we're gonna... Like, I'm gonna go onto the test server to learn how to use the new operator, things like that, right? And they said nothing about a new map, right? So we're just getting a new operator.
True.
Right, so that's our biggest thing. Yeah, I guess the and the Polly's point too, the I guess the year 8 roadmap fully is tomorrow. So that'll be exciting.
Final.
All right. We're playing tonight, right?
I was gonna ask if you wanted to do some midday queuing.
I consider that as an option, but I'm gonna go continue to spend time with my wife, and you know.
Well, you go enjoy married life. Some of us can't.
Right. Yeah, right. Can't. You still have to finish school and things like that. So.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. But so I'm gonna do that, and then 7:30.
7:30. Oh yeah.
7:30.
Nope. I'm thinking of different group. Yep,
That's 6:30 for you, right?
Oh, 6:30 East? Yeah.
No, 7:30 East. You'll figure it out. It's the usual time.
I don't know what usual is anymore. I have no concept of time.
That's fair. I just say 7:30. Everyone assumes it's EST because I'm on the East Coast, and that works.
I am so brain broken by networking. Ripley put in chat, CST is where it's at, and my brain just read common spanning tree.
That's absolutely wonderful.
I need to stop with networking and homework.
Oh my god. All right, so then I'll see you at 7:30.
I'll see you at 7:30.
See you, buddy. All right, bye everybody. We'll be back to play later tonight.